Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on New Superman issue number 3. Now, as you know, New Superman was meant to feature Karen Conn during the whole DC Rebirth series, and was meant to feature Karen Conn becoming a sort of superhero for a Chinese version of the Justice League. And the cover has Karen Conn taking on an army of snakes, and let's get on the story. It starts off right where the second issue left off, with Karen Conn revealing himself and Lenny Lang saying, "You're that kid from a couple days ago. Oh my god, that explains how you were able to face down Blue Condor with such courage. You're a genuine hero." And you can tell Dr. Omen, as well as Batman and Wonder Woman, aren't happy with what he's been doing, and tries to make it seem like he's the leader of his team, which he calls the Justice League of China. And, of course, Lex Luthor, Perry White, the Justice League, and General Iron all see this, and left either angry, amazed, or just shocked. So, pretty much Wonder Woman uses her lasso to tie him up, and basically take him back into the car, and mainly turns into a flying one that leaves off. And afterwards, you can kind of tell Batman and that aren't happy with him and for what he did. So of course we're shown at Karen Conn's father's meeting, which turns out they found out his son's now a superhero. And he's like, "I see it. We need to move quickly. We need to move now." And so they mainly fly down into the bottom of the sea, which turns out the place they're going to is a built prison that was made 5 years ago when more villains had started to appear. And of course, he looks around amazed at the stuff that's in there, and you can kind of tell Batman and Wonder Woman aren't happy with him. And you can tell Wonder Woman's trying to say is, "What were you thinking, Karen, telling that reporter your secret identity?" And you can kind of tell he does feel bad about doing it, but just wanted people to notice him. And you can kind of tell that Wonder Woman starts to see a lot of herself in him, and given the fact of her origin, you can kind of tell she doesn't want him to make the same mistakes. And of course, there's more truths about Karen Conn's father that we know of. So of course we're shown at Dr. Omen's office where she's having an argument with General Iron, and you can kind of tell he's not pleased about them making a Chinese Justice League, but mainly ends the call. And you can tell Karen Conn basically tries to talk, saying how he got his powers back and that he's back in business. But of course she uses a special gun as a punishment for revealing too much, and saying, "Who gave you permission to talk to that reporter? Dr. Omen, stop! He's had enough." And you can kind of tell Dr. Omen's not pleased with his results, and tells him to go to his room to study, and also the fact of what he did was extremely stupid. So we're shown at the top of the Ministry of Self-Reliance, where Wonder Woman and Karen have a few drinks and talk, and even admits that she's had moments where she fell in love and made mistakes. And this is where they start to bond a bit more as a team. So Batman shows up and explains to Karen that he's figured out about the security system, and that the people that were being captured and kidnapped were all investors for the Ministry of Self-Reliance. So of course they decide to protect Dr. Shang, who is one of the investors, and get to them before anyone else can. And of course they get ready, which they mainly fly off at a kind of laboratory, and even Batman points out that since his powers are solar based, he can probably make a sort of fusion reactor or something. So we see Dr. Zhang, who's quick to think that they're after him, and quickly presses a button that releases a giant snake-like creature. And there is a bit of a foreshadowing to the future Aquaman we'll get, but turns out the Ministry of Self-Reliance never made an Aquaman, as Dr. Omen didn't see the point, given the fact this is the Justice League. So, of course, they have to take on a snake-like creature, and you're introduced to the Chinese version of the Freedom Fighters, who plan to get Dr. Shang first. And after taking on the snake creature, and after Wonder Woman saying to be careful as its blood has acid, and after Karen Khan quickly figures out, he uses the destroyed tail part against him, and of course goes for the eyes, which they quickly use as a way to blind it and make it leave. So we're shown with the Freedom Fighters of China, where it turns out Blue Connell can control the air, which makes Karen unable to breathe. And we're shown with the Freedom Fighters of China, who are basically going to take on Superman, as well as the Ministry of Self-Reliance. And this is the story. So issue 3 is definitely alright. I think they make it clear that Karen Khan is a flawed character. He's self-aware. He knows he wants to be something bigger. And you can kind of tell Wonder Woman is a little aware of this and does try to be a friend. So I think this issue deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.